Hey, what's going on, guys? Listen, if you have been hunting single family homes and it has become a crazy challenge to find something that actually cash flows in today's market in 2025, we are now a week away from Thanksgiving in 2025. Man, it has gotten crazy. Check this out. People are passing up opportunity because they don't realize what is out there in the marketplace. We bought this property here that we're about to do a renovation on. We got the demo on it completed, but the reason why we bought it, it was because of the adjacent vacant lot on which we can build a duplex. But before I get into the duplex thing, I'm going to give you guys a quick update here what we got going on. Let's get into it here. Check it out. So I've recorded this video here just basically giving you an update. We're on day number 3 of the demolition on this property. And I am really taking a look at the exterior walls, man. The exterior walls actually look really great. The wood actually looks good. Nothing too crazy. And you know what the really weird part about this whole thing is? I'm going to show you exactly where all of the damage came into this house, and it's actually a very tiny small hole. So anyway, right now what I'm showing you guys here is the gas that we're going to eliminate. I'm not a real big fan of gas for rental property, so we're just going to get rid of it completely, and we're just going to keep on moving along with it. Now, here's the part that's really the ugliest part. If you go back and look at another video for this particular property on Mill Street, you will see all of this stuff here was just absolutely crazy, black mold looking crazy stuff. Now, here's the thing. So normally what we have here is something called a sill plate, S-I-L-L. And what that is just a 2x4. It's a treated piece of wood that is going to be supporting these studs that are going up. But as you can see here, they're completely, absolutely gone, not even there anymore. You can see some of the damage there. This is the crazy part, yo. So man, now listen, I get it. You know, sometimes if you're a landlord or if you're a homeowner, it doesn't matter. You're trying to get things done on a budget, and I totally understand that. But at the same time, like, there's certain things that I feel like some contractors really do people injustice when it comes to like getting the repairs done. Like, I totally get you're trying to save money. I am not averse to that because I try to save money too. So I totally get that. But the problem I have is when people go over stuff that's like terrible with like new stuff. So for example, here's the problem that I have here. So this is burned. Obviously, this is burned stuff here, and it got a little bit here. You can see the burn. It's all black. And so instead of like eliminating that, they just went over it with, you can see this stuff here, which is brand new stuff. Brand new plywood on the exterior here for the, not the exterior, but for the decking for the roofing. I don't know why. Why not just cut? I mean, what is this distance here? 2 feet? Another 2 feet this way? What's that going to cost you? An extra $20 of material? That's what bothers me. And then what about this piece right here? This piece right here looks like it got damaged a little bit by the fire. Why not replace that? What's that going to cost you? $7 and maybe, you know, a little bit of extra labor? That's what I don't get. So anyway, moving on. Who knows who did this work? Maybe it was, you know, they themselves did it. Who knows? I'm not trying to speculate. But now look, we also uncovered a lot of termite damage. It's not that crazy, guys, but this is part of the, you know, par for the course. So check this out. Look, here it is. Look at this little tiny little baby hole. This is where the burn part was, and the stuff that they replaced. This right here. This tiny little baby hole is what caused all of that black mold damage that you guys saw on a previous video in different, and I'm emphasizing it, guys. I'm emphasizing it because, man, these are the small types of issues that if we don't take care of, whether it's a house or your life or my life or whatever it is, they can cause some serious damage, man. Check this out. Absolutely insane. So all of this damage that you see right here is caused from that little hole. The seal, all this damage right there. All the sill plate, all the black mold, all the stuff that came into this house was from that little hole. Isn't that nuts? That's absolutely insane. Now, we're not going to be doing any structural modifications to this property, so we're just going to put everything back the way it was. Any of this termite damage stuff is going to have to go and be replaced. Oh man, I want to show you something here real quick too. So here's the benefit of learning new construction first before you start doing remodeling, because that was the big challenge, right? For me especially. I went into remodeling houses before I learned new construction. Now I wish I would have done it backwards. And the reason why is because now I have a frame of reference of how to approach these projects from a perspective of like the new construction side, right? Now, here's something that, I would not have known had I not done new construction. So you see this pipe here. This pipe looks like the water goes this way, right? If you can follow that. I don't know if you can follow that. Let me see. So the wastewater, the way it's supposed to be going is it comes in through here and it goes down this pipe here and it goes down this way, okay? The reason why this pipe goes up is because it's a vent. So it's a water. And I've made this analogy before, but I think it's important to make it again. So imagine you have a gallon of water and you flip it completely upside down, right? If there's no air in it, the gallon of water sucks in and sucks out and it just goes slow. But if you have the same gallon of water and you punch a hole over the top of it with a knife or a pen or something like that, that allows air to flow through up and allows the water to drain out way faster, okay? So that is what the purpose of these pipes having, going all the way up for. That's the vent portion of it. So there's no mechanical system. There's nothing, so in the toilets or in the sinks, in the bathtubs, there's no mechanical system that actually forces the water to go down. It's just gravity. And the way gravity works is if we have this air gap going up, that air that's being allowed to come, that is allowed to be there from the top, allows the wastewater to go down. So that's the way it works. Now, I know we're going to have a problem here because if you notice here, this is where the sink used to be in the kitchen. It's not attached to anything here. So that leads me to believe that maybe there's some sort of a clog or something going on down here that they didn't want to address. If they didn't address that little small tiny hole at the top or replace those pieces of wood that were burned, then they probably skipped on this too. Because look, this is not attached to anything. It actually attaches to something on the outside. But I wouldn't know that unless I had the experience of new construction. So these are termite damage. So whenever you see a piece of wood that looks like old sheets of paper like this, like an old dictionary, that's how you know it's termite damage. All right, look at that. But it's not a big deal. We can take care of this stuff. It's nothing that is too crazy out of the ordinary. I've seen worse, believe it or not, way worse, like by a magnitude of 100 worse. This is not that bad. And I'm not exaggerating about seeing termite damage 100 times worse than this. So we got to get rid of all this stuff here as well because we're going to be replacing the windows. That stuff's got to get removed. All of this wood looks good. One of the other things that I'm pointing out here is like you see all these nails that are here. So once, whenever they put the sheetrock back in the day, this house is probably from the 1980s. I can't remember right now. But they would just, nail on the pieces of sheetrock like this. So one of the other things that we have these guys that are doing the demo is just go in there and just remove all of these nails off of the 2x4s, off of the studs here. Just get them removed so that way it makes it easier for when the sheetrock guys come in. They don't have to do that work. So taking a look at some of the damage from the termites, we're going to get this stuff replaced. But it doesn't look good. I mean, it doesn't look bad. It looks actually, pretty good. Once we got the insulation off of there and everything else like that, it'll be fine. Here's another thing that we're going to be doing here. If we have this particular air conditioning unit right here, this is how they used to do it back in the day, right? You used to have the air conditioning unit inside of like a little closet in the hall. So now almost everyone does the air conditioning in the attic space because they just, they go up there. It's just the way they do it. So now we have this extra space here that we can use for like a pantry for the kitchen. And that's really what I'm going to try to do with it. It used to be a gas unit. There's no real use for it anymore. We're going to get rid of that. We're going to open this up so that we can use it as a pantry. Again, remember, this is going to be turning into a rental. Clean and functional is what we're going for. Clean and functional. We don't have to go overboard. This can be just a real basic house. It doesn't have to be too crazy. But this is where we are with it, guys. Listen, if you want to learn a little bit more about new construction, how the new construction project works, how the process begins, how we get it, how we get the entire thing financed, put together, pull the permits, get everything done, please feel free to like and follow. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. I am here to teach you guys new construction because one of the biggest problems I had when I first started new construction is that I was willing to pay people to show me new construction and nobody wanted to show me. I didn't understand why, but now that I know it, I've been doing it for many, many years now. I am happy to share it with you guys. I'm hoping to try to make it in a very easy to understand and digestible method so it's not overwhelming for you, because new construction is where you need to start, not like I did is where I ended up. But anyways, all right, guys, thanks so much for watching. I will talk to you soon.